Hello and welcome to Mini Builds, a channel about building software and electronics projects. This video series is the start of a devlog series following the development of Habit Board, an app to help you track your daily, weekly and monthly habits and keep motivated. To build the app, we'll be using Flutter, Google's multi-platform UI framework. The app is going to be fairly simple, as such it will be completely standalone and we won't have to build any sort of server backend or anything like that. To start, we'll create a mock-up of the main pages required for the app. The main page is simply a list of the user's boards along with a tick to quickly toggle today. The main page also has a button in the app bar to create a new board. The app bar will also contain a menu with options to import and export the user's data. Clicking on one of the boards opens the board page, which contains a calendar allowing the user to view and toggle dates other than today. This page also displays streak info such as longest streak and current streak to encourage the user to keep going. At the bottom of the page there's a navigation bar to switch to the year view, which displays the full year in a similar way to the commit chart in GitHub. Something like this, but probably in portrait. Finally, there'll also be a page to create a board by providing a name, streak info and a colour. Next we'll think about the classes that represent our data. At the moment we only have two classes. A board class which contains name, streak info, colour and date created. And an entry class which contains a date and a boolean value. We may add a comment field to this object in the future, but for now we'll just keep it simple. Now that we have a rough idea of what we're going to be creating, let's open up Android Studio and create a new project. So with Android Studio open, we'll click Create New Flutter Project and call it Habit Board. We'll start the emulator spinning, and while that's doing its thing we'll just remove some of the comments and sort of fluff that's in the code. Cool, so here's the Android emulator. So we should be able to just click play and we'll see the default Flutter application running, which is just a counter app. This can take a mode to run the first time. Cool, so clicking the button we should see this increment, which is cool, so Flutter's all working. So let's start by creating our main page. Actually, and we just copy the scaffold from down here. That into our new widget and delete pretty much everything in here. And we just put a text widget that says hello for the moment. and we're replace the My Home page used here with Main Page and change the title to Habit Board. Cool. So just delete that. Oops. Cool, now we have a very minimal app that just has hello in the middle. So we are going to create an object or a class for our boards, and we just create a new Dart file. We slam all of our sort of model classes into here. So let's create a board class, and that'll have a name. And we just keep it simple and leave it with a name for the moment, and add other fields later. So we'll add a list of boards to our main page. So I quite like the trailing commas because they make it so that the auto formatter sort of prints it all nicely, formats it nicely. So now we're going to replace the body with a list view to show these boards that we've got up here. So the list view takes an item builder that's basically just a function that takes the context and an index and expects you to return a widget. So we'll build a list tile with the title of the board's name basically, that'll do. And that needs to be in a widget, so text widget. And that is index, not I. Cool. So the reason we're getting a load of weird red stuff over here is because we haven't provided the item count. So I assume it just thinks that it's infinite or something. If we do that, boom. Now we have all three of our items, our boards rendered. Let's change this a little bit so that we have 100 of them, and we're not going to do that manually, obviously. We're going to generate them. So Dart's like quite a nice language. It's sort of got all of the usual functional style of doing things. We've got string interpolation, like this, which is not too bad. Just scrap that. Cool. So now we've got hopefully 100 or so. Yeah, 100 board items. Cool. So let's add a list. Let's add an on-press or on-tap listener to this. And we'll just print out the board's name. Cool. So hopefully when we click one of these, see a little message. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So this tile has other fields, so there should be a trailing, and we just put a sort of tick widget on the end, which later on we'll use to actually mutate the underlying data and add an entry to that board for today. In the next episode, we'll introduce some state management using the block pattern. Thanks for watching.